Um, I find it funny that YouTube thinks it's better for me to broadcast in vertical. You gotta love why I don't like being on social media anymore as a platform creator. Excuse me. That was not a burp. I just think yeah, all right. So I'm going to do a boxing video, not unboxing, because I didn't get a chance to do this. This is a Grand Stream voice over IP phone. They're common in low end. I'll give my own opinions of this as I go along here. What I wanted to show you is the basics of the phone. I've not changed the configuration because there's some interesting things I want to show you. Again, I prefer more, as much as I've been known for hating Cisco phones, Cisco phones are a little bit better than these. They're cheaper for sure if you were to buy them new or if you get it from a provider, but the feature sets are not good in quality, especially if you are using it in an office setting where you're using a lot of different features rather than just voicemail and call stuff. So the way it works here, this is called, what they call it, technically a session initiation protocol phone. It's kind of basically this phone's kind of like a smartphone in a form factor, but kind of sort of. These buttons are the line appearances, so it can only support up to 6 different phone numbers or 6 different call appearances, which is just a shorthand term for the amount of calls, the amount of, it's like a buffering line. So if I have like 100, 100, 100, I can transfer a call. I can hear the phone page. If I'm on another call, if you don't want call waiting, it will like roll over to another button, but it's the same phone number in kind of sort of fashion. But you could have 6 different external phone numbers, or kind of sort of like that. Over here, these are feature buttons, or busy, what they call in the phone world, busy lamp fields. The reason why it's called lamp, because it predates LEDs. So your assistants, your coworkers, or like a call park setup is would be set up through here. As I kind of did I think I did an earlier video on this. I'm going to unplug the wall adapter, and I'm not going to use the wall adapter. I brought my PoE switch from home, and apparently my hotel also has a wireless device, but it also has got wired Ethernet. And if you see a lightning bolt, it can pass through a PoE device. But I don't know how to make those things work with my network without having to go through some captive portal, even for wired devices, which I'm using the captive portal just because I'm not posting anything or using anything that's sensitive. So I don't have to use up the cell connection that much because I did a lot of posting. So I don't want to, and it's also November 1st and don't want to get hit with a metered internet. So, by the way, I want to tell you why I'm using a PoE switch. PoE switch is actually more power efficient than these little guys. This thing, 1 amp, I don't know what the wattage is. It does draw electricity, and it is phantom power, and it can drive up your electric bill depending on how many you have these plugged in. Oftentimes, most VoIP appointments, they don't give you a PoE switch. But this is kind of like how you plug in an office phone. You can see red lights in the test. As it's turning on, it's right now trying to think to know how much power it needs to deliver. These phones remind me of the phones that you would find at like a Staples or a Best Buy, but it's got some enterprisey stuff to it, but it's still like this really hot mess of a prosumer. Loading application. I like how it it's a graphical screen phone, so it's gonna run smoothly. The animation. Starting DHCP, but I don't have a DHCP server on here, so it's gonna not know how to connect. It doesn't know its last IP address. I can tell you this was plugged in on a local phone system, probably an asterisk, just given how these things are plugged in. It didn't show any IP, or it could have been a proxy like you have with a web server, so it's not everything's going out directly on the internet. Jose was the user apparently, and I think this was set up with call appearances, so this user could have had 3 different, was on another call, put the other call on hold, and not like do like a flash like you would do with a regular landline. Let me see where. All right, this is where. I don't want to do a factory reset just yet. I'll do it when I get home. I'm not using this in production. I just wanted to use these. I never owned a Grandstream phone. I did own a device where I could plug like a landline phone like device in there. There was something interesting when I looked at this the other day. Nothing more in here, but here's the ringtones. I think this is the ringtone. Very original. A ringback tone, as it said. I mean, who thought that was a smart name for a ringtone? All right. Hold on, I might just turn this out so I don't wake up the locals here.
You have a call from.
Does that voice sound familiar?
You have a call from.
That's Allison from the Asterisk Lady. That sounds, well, that's weird. That sounds like it's been recorded as like from like a faraway tone. And silent. You can insert your own ringtones, I believe.
You have a call from.
I feel so bad for people that have these kind of phones because it's so like a weather update. I think that Greenland, I think that might be Greenland, New Hampshire, because what was interesting was IP geographic information, city, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I find that interesting that that Portsmouth can be a geographic. Normally, it's like New York or Montreal because of the way the Unix clocks are. But I just thought it was interesting, like GMT 50 Eastern Time. But I thought it was interesting. It had like Portsmouth on here. My IP address or its location is not even close to home. even with business class internet. So that was another thing I thought was interesting. But I bought these in pairs because I don't like my phones to be, one-offs. But not, I think, like I said, I'm not using this in production. No instant messages. Let's go to phone again. Kill one. And that looks like a private IP address typically used for, like an asterisk. That's what I suspect was plugged in on here. So, yeah. So that's basically that. And I'm going to do like an inverted unboxing where I'm going to box this up. So I'm going to put my phone stand on here and I'll just... This is kind of the things I like to do. I didn't want to make this all about talking about a very morbid subject every time. So I'm gonna unbox. I sound like I have a cold. I think it's just sinuses, and I'm not getting a lot of sleep. My mother's gonna probably start thinking the worst, because that's what mothers do. They want to create a problem so they can keep you restless and hopeless. There was 5 of these at Savers, and I wanted to make sure I got everything I could that wasn't like an so it's got a little documentation, the open source things that you have to do. If you have an open source card, you have to attribute it in the package and a printout. One other thing about the Granite Stream is there's 2 different types of stands. This adjusts, I think there's 2 different settings. Well, I need to take it off anyways because I need to pack it up. So you can, you have a higher profile, lower profile. But if you want to hang it to the wall, good luck to that, unless you have the piece. So if you're on eBay, make sure you get everything. I don't like that either, because if I want to wall mount my phone, I should do it literally on the hands, on the towel set. And even this, look at like how you have to like literally drill holes in your wall for the, so if you like have a standard phone wall mount where it would be about 2 or 3 inches from the soft screws, you can't do that anymore. You have to literally go and drill holes through the walls. The phones are really thinner now because really there's just a board. The outlets or the jacks are soldered in on the board, and you don't need, this USB port is probably for its camera. You can also use it to charge your smartphones if you wanted to. Handset, just look on that. HD stands for high dynamic. It's kind of like an iPhone quality or smartphone quality. Some people like it, some people don't. You can change the settings to sound more traditional landline. That could be a use case, especially if you are on a low bandwidth, restricted bandwidth, wireless, but the phone is wired kind of thing. That is a thing, people. Let me put this over here while I start doing this pack up. I won't show you the other one because it's the same thing. A couple missing pieces. And while I try to figure out how this went together. But I do experiments trying to understand voice over IP. It's not a very easy to understand, especially if you come from the traditional copper world where it was very hardware specific. So if you don't understand software, or you understand telephony with a product but doesn't understand that in itself, it's going to be a learning curve. So I'm doing it for experimental reasons. I think it's the way it came in. I think face was. Okay, I'm gonna take this guy off. Yeah. It was showing the other side when I open it up. And when I'm at Savers, I open up everything. So I just want to make sure that I have everything. Because some people, it's like a zoo there. So that's that. And I'll put the AC adapter in here too. And this one had the AC adapter. The other ones didn't. Some of them were more used than the others. So I literally was in its aisle for probably like 10 or 20 minutes. Probably more like 10 minutes. As I was looking through them all. I'm gonna pay $20 for one of these things. I want to make sure I got everything. And like I said, like on eBay, you can get them on eBay for the same price, but getting it here with hard cash, that's even better. And here's one of the price tags. Yeah, this thing the box got dropped multiple times when I was out at the mall. Because I went across the street to the mall and I'm carrying this big bag because I didn't expect that. Oh, one other thing too, since I'm on the live stream, this is my last live stream here. I did buy this old relic. It does not have a power adapter. It's a Polycom, an analog Polycom conference phone. And for those people who don't understand what a conference was, the uniqueness of a conference phone is when Polycom got their infamy for the ability to, when you're on speakerphone, prior to the 1990s, the phone traffic was one person at a time. They can hear and speak. What Polycom did was they built some algorithms and also powered the microphones and the speaker at the same time. So you could have a natural conversation through a traditional landline and digital if you had that as well. But the concept was one circuit, it would be powered microphones, powered speakers, and it would go through the copper sounding like you wouldn't be cutting each other off. It was a big deal in the 90s. It's so ubiquitous today that even that Granite State phone has that very same thing, but probably not as good. I would be honest with that. But the Polycoms were very specific because there's shock mounts inside. There's a lot of different things for these phones to. I don't have a power adapter, as I said, because I was more not going to use this, but more for a collection because it is kind of old in nature, and I like the older ones. The plastic has that like gritty feel. They do break and crack over time. So it uses like an RJ, a modified RJ45 plug, which I have at home. So it should work because most of these generations, this is, like I said, it's almost 30 years old. And this one's got a little screen. So, yep, that's what I bought. All right, I gotta make a phone call on the modern iPhone to my mother because I'm gonna be leaving and I need to finish packing up. So, again, I just wanted to do this, rare video of me, live stream of me, just what I do outside of being an ex-advocate. Because that's something that makes me feel good. All right, bye.